So yesterday, the president from, let me pull it up. The president from, what's his name? Bukele from El Salvador. Is he still here in the United States? He was at the White House. Let me show y'all what he had to say. Let me pull up the video. Excuse me.
Can President Bukele weigh in on this? Do you plan to return him?
No, most people are suggesting that I smuggle terrorists into the United States. Right?
Ciao.
How can I return him to the United States? Like, I smuggle him into the United States, or what? Of course, I'm not going to do it. It's like, I mean, the question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? I don't have the power to.
He's not a terrorist.
Yeah, but I'm not releasing. I mean, we're not very fond of releasing terrorists into our country. I mean, we just turned the murder capital of the world to the safest country of the Western Hemisphere, and you want us to go back into the releasing criminals so we can go back to being the murder capital of the world? No, that's not going to happen.
Well, they'd love to have a criminal,
yeah. I mean, there's a fascination.
They would love it.
Yeah.
They're sick. These are sick people.
You see how he likes to denigrate the press? This is in regards to that guy that they deported. The guy that was, I forget his name. He was under protective status here in the United States. He left El Salvador because of the gangs. He left. Came here. He was put under protective status. And he got swept up in one of those raids. And he was sent back to El Salvador. The Supreme Court, it went through the federal courts. The federal court said you need to bring him back. Donald Trump ignored the federal courts. It went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, 9-0, 9 in favor, said you need to bring him back. Donald Trump said no. And so Caitlin Collins from CNN asked Bukele, is that his name? Bukele? Asked him directly. And he's calling the man a terrorist. The man is not a terrorist. He was living here. He was checking in regularly with his person at the government. He was working. He has a family. He no criminal activity. And they're calling the man a terrorist. He's not a terrorist. And so he said no. So the president of El Salvador is in violation of U.S. law. Donald Trump is in violation of U.S. law. And everybody is like, we're in a constitutional crisis. Bitch, we're not in a constitutional crisis anymore. We are an we are a dictatorship, bitch. We are now a dictatorship. Period. He's not following laws anymore. Now, remember, he said he would follow whatever the Supreme Court says. Nope. Now that we're here, nope. And they're trying to twist what the Supreme Court said, saying that the Supreme Court voted in favor of Donald Trump. No. The Supreme Court said bring him back. Donald Trump said no, he's not bringing him back. And yeah, and it's this scares me. This scares me, and Latina people should be scared. Anybody who Donald Trump feels crossed him should be afraid, because if he's refusing to bring this man back to the United States, he's refusing to follow the laws. He's refusing to give people due process. And on top of that, he's talking about sending United States citizens over to El Salvador to this prison without due process, without being read rights, without having an attorney, without going through a trial, without even being found guilty. He's talking about rounding you up and sending you over to El Salvador. Remember, before the election, I talked a lot about Donald Trump doing concentration camps, because that's the impression that you got from reading Project 2025. Okay? Remember that? There was a lot of talk about concentration camps and how they were going to round up the brown people, right? When I talked about that, I envisioned camps here. But once Donald Trump got into office, Guantanamo Bay came into play, and then we were like, okay, Guantanamo Bay is going to be the concentration camp. And then it didn't work out over at Guantanamo Bay. There's nobody in Guantanamo Bay now. They'll lie and say there is. But I saw a news article long ago, maybe a month or so ago, where all of the prisoners that were in Guantanamo Bay have been moved out of Guantanamo Bay because they didn't have the infrastructure properly set up to house prisoners in Guantanamo Bay. Plus, it's expensive. And then here we are. He's set up this deal with this president of El Salvador to take in prisoners. This El Salvador prison will be the United States concentration camps. And this is scary because they can round up anybody. Baby, you could be in Publix picking up food for dinner, and a raid happens at the Publix and you get mixed up in that shit. And black people, don't think we are exempt from this. We aren't. We are not. Because he goes further in this article. Somebody asked him about it, and he admitted, yeah, he would send United States citizens over there if they were robbing old ladies and all of this stuff. Yeah. Criminals. A criminal talking about punishing criminals. A criminal who wasn't punished. This man has 34 counts. He is a convicted criminal 34 times over. And he's talking about punishing criminals. He has been held liable for assaulting a woman. He's been found liable for cheating the taxpayers of New York. He owes the taxpayers of New York $500 million. And he sits there as if he is pure and holy, free of criminal charges. Meanwhile, he was on a hot mic. Let me find that. That's not it. Where's the other one? Is this it? Yeah, that's it. He was on a hot mic talking to this president from El Salvador. I can't pronounce his name. Bukele? Is it Bukele or Bukelele? and he's talking. He's on a hot mic. I don't know if he knew. Did he forget? Did he know he was on a hot mic? Did he know the mic was working? Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? He said the homegrowns are next. The homegrowns are next. You've got to build about 5 more prisons. Let me play it again.
Homegrowns are next. The homegrowns, but you gotta look at 5 more. Yeah, that's fair. All right.
It's not big enough.
No, yeah, come on. So this is a much different office.
The homegrowns are next. You got to build 5 more places. And they all cackled as if that's funny. They all laughed as if that's funny. And this is the problem. The people around him, they are evil-minded too. Somebody's mentioning get your papers ready. I've done a few videos telling people to make sure they have their papers. We are back in that time. You need a passport. You need a real ID, a driver's license. Make sure it's a real ID. You need to carry a copy of your birth certificate with you if you don't have a passport. Somebody said laminate them. Yeah, you can get them laminated at is Kinko still in business? Dang. I ain't heard about a Kinko's in oh, Kinko's is FedEx now. Okay. All right. So you can get it laminated. I know you could get it. It's no longer Kinko's, it's FedEx. So you can get it laminated there. Oh, somebody says you can also get it laminated at the office, Max. And then check Staples. If you have a passport, you could get a passport card from the passport people. I think you could just fill out the application and pay the fee for the passport card, and they'll send it to you in the mail. I had to recently renew my passport, so I just also got a passport card. So in my wallet, I have my conceal and carry because my conceal and carry has my picture on it. I got my real ID driver's license, and I have my passport card. That's what I carry with me at all times. We are back in the show me your papers state.